G'day guys, time for another NY update video. I hope you all had a good London session if you did trade it. Personally, I took one trade on GJ and it was a sell at the EU Open. Now it's based off the fact that this candle had rejected the resistance. It closed back below the 4-hour resistance. It broke the current daily candle's high, but only to close back below that zone which I marked in. So I took an entry. Basically, as this candle pullback creates up wick, something new I'm trialing just to get in at a better price. And also it gives me a better stop loss as well. So basically as this candle pullback creates up a wick, I pretty much sold it at the high of that wick. Got to break even at 10 pips and it has since just taken me out. I closed pretty much the whole thing at 10, to be honest. Left the tiny runner. It's since been taken out. So now looking at GJ moving forward, what I can see is we have now created a lower low on the daily candle, broken the current daily candle's low. We are approaching this next support, so the same analysis applies as to the London session. We're now approaching the level I look to buy it from. So it's just a matter of waiting for your catalyst to form. If we get similar to what we had over here, bit of consolidation, and price begins to leave that consolidation, that could be a potential entry to take it back up. Further options now will remain within this range if we do just pop back up and reject yet again, because have a look at this. We've rejected multiple times. Well, first of all, we formed a resistance. We've rejected once here, twice here, 3 times, and recently the 4th time. So we're having trouble popping back above that 185.80, a psychological round number. We keep rejecting. We rejected 185. 185.80. So at this stage, it's a very solid level. So what I'd like to see is if we do pull back up yet again to retest it, we have similar form again where we just reject and keep respecting this resistance, this range. Then you're just playing a range bound, guys. You're selling the highs, buying the lows, simple as that. And the only other option at this stage for me on GJ is seeing we're approaching this support is if we start to close below 185.270, you can look for potential entries as well. It just depends where it's coming from. If it doesn't pull back just now, doesn't exhaust at all, not as nice. I would have rather it to pull back, grab some more liquidity before it continues the downside. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but you might be looking for things such as your limit orders back at the zone if it does begin to just close below the zone on the current candle, for instance, which has 20 minutes left. So just be careful trading that though. Don't want to be selling it after a big move. You rather wait for it to maybe consolidate a bit, settle down, grab some orders before it continues yet again. Probably the safer option. Onto gold. Look, I hope any of you who did watch the London analysis took advantage of the analysis, because that was spot on. That was absolutely perfect. Tapped in. I remember I was looking at this similar time to GJ when we hadn't quite tapped in. It was actually the EU candle which eventually tapped into that zone. What I did say is on the analysis, I want to see a candle tap in. I want to see rejection. We have support form at that resistance and we're going to break it. There's opportunities to sell it from higher up, which is what you did have. So now gold, it's made that move. It's now, you can kind of argue it's create lower low, pulls back, create lower high. Same scenario. I still look to sell it from back below this resistance. Aside from that, if it does now pop down to this support here around 2028.90 to 2029 sort of level, we begin to close back below it. That could be potential options to sell it back down. Buys aren't all that bad as well though. We get a strong bullish engulfing candle, for instance, at this point here, if closing back above at 2032, that could be an option to potentially buy it as well, guys. So keep an eye on that. On gold, it still has a chance it could fall back a bit further, and again, buys from lower down would make sense. Even from 2030, it does begin to pull back yet again now in the opposite direction. Sorry guys. Now let's quickly move on to GU. GU made the move as well, as per the analysis. Did so if we start closing below this support, then there's a good chance we'll head back down. So hope you guys are taking advantage of it. Now we're approaching a buy zone though, yet again. So once again, be looking for a similar sort of catalyst as to what we had over here. Bit of consolidation as price begins to pop above it, and then there could be options to buy it. That would be pretty much it on GU. Just looking at EJ quickly. So what EJ is doing, not that. Let me get rid of that. And what I mentioned was to a gentleman that it is basically what it is doing. It's within the current daily candles, form support, the retest support for break support is likely to head back down. You got clean traffic to the left, albeit against the structure and the bias. The EJ is looking good for sales to come all the way back down towards that 159 now. Grab some more liquidity where you could potentially look to buy it back up. You just need to now wait for it to give you options. So if you're not in it, and I wouldn't be in this because you've got an upper wick and it's impulsive, it's coming from essentially consolidation, just above the zone. I'll be waiting to see where his candle closes, and you could look for your potential limit orders back at the zone, or even a sell as price begins to break below this candle, as long as it just doesn't melt in the next 17 minutes, which it could do. On to NAS just quickly. So as per the analysis playing out nicely. As per the analysis for London session, up above that 16.862, it was likely to head up. It has not quite tapped into that zone, resistance to the left. So now it's a matter of waiting for it to. This is really nice now on NAS because it opens up a few options here. Because what we're going to do up at these highs, if we start to close back below this gray zone, we're actually flipping the M30 structure bearish. So if that is to be the case, and we're up high at a 4-hour resistance, well, if you're looking here to the left, it is a 4-hour level. Especially if we can wait for this 4-hour to close, that adds confidence that we've got a long wick to the upside closing back bearish. Within it, we've formed a support. We're breaking, not only we closing the 4-hour candle bearish, if that is to be the case, we're also breaking and closing below the support to create a lower low on the M30 and flipping the M30 structure bearish. That is a big catalyst for us to have. We are to look for sells from higher up against the overall bias. So for me, I'd definitely be considering upon closures sells below 16845.3 roughly, and try to correlate with the new 4-hour candle breaking a low of, which will be this candle, which will be the previous, obviously in the next hour and a bit. But if it does form a support low, buy options, definitely buy options, and I'd still consider buying it based off the way the weekly candle is forming. I'd definitely still prefer to buy it. It's just open up a few doors to sell it as well. So again, the buy is still same sort of level as 16.813, 16.814 is the level. Again, just look for exhaustion, wait for your catalyst to form at that level, or a little bit lower down at 16.790. That's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that little quick NY update video. Please hit the like button. Leave a comment if you like as well. That'd be great. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers, trade safe, my friends, and bye for now.